I keep my method to stay beneath the waves, a secret deep, for fear men might turn it into a seabed murder case. Spoke Leonardo da Vinci, half a millennium in the past. Imagining inventions beneath the ocean waves, he sketched a fish-like craft to extend our aquatic sojourns. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Da Vinci's imaginative designs have materialized into underwater engineering marvels, reshaping the landscape of both physical and psychological warfare. And humanity has indeed transformed it into a competition for underwater supremacy. However, whether it's a seabed murder case or not, that's open to interpretation. But the undeniable truth is that the recent advancements in this technology emanating from various naval forces globally are shaping a unique and influential trajectory for the future of global power dynamics. The recent addition to this arsenal unfolds with INS Draken, Israel's new submarine emerging from Kiel, Germany. A Dragon of the Dolphin II class submarines, it signifies Israel's naval prowess amid an era where arms race ripple, unsettling the core of regional security. Hit that like button and join us as we explore how US Navy reacts as Israel just revealed this dangerous nuclear submarine. Submarines, the colossal maritime structures, possess an elusive quality that makes them formidable tools for psychological warfare, actual combat, and espionage. Despite their immense size, these underwater vessels excel in stealth, lurking silently beneath the seemingly tranquil surface of the ocean, often around 250 meters deep. Imagine the calm exterior, oblivious to the fact that beneath the waves lies a gigantic machine, weighing thousands of tons, housing a crew of several hundred individuals, and armed with nuclear warheads ready for instantaneous deployment, all without a trace on the surface. The sheer size of these submarines is actually staggering. Like, some of them are so huge that if placed on land, they would resemble floating buildings, maybe even bigger. Their remarkable ability to remain unseen constitutes a crucial aspect of their operational strategy. But there's much more to a nuclear-powered submarine than its exceptional size and stealth. The most crucial aspect is it's formidable. Like, truly formidable. So much so that a single nuclear submarine possesses enough nuclear firepower to nearly end life on Earth. What's even awe-inspiring is the journey that brought us to this engineering marvel. It's not a recent development, rather, it delves deep into human history, spanning not just decades or centuries, but thousands of years. The more we perceive underwater exploration as a modern concept, the more it connects us to the profound roots of our shared human history. The evolution of submarines. The inception of underwater exploration and warfare traces back approximately 2,000 years, as evidenced by artistic depictions portraying early endeavors. These depictions include Alexander the Great enclosed in a glass barrel beneath the water surface. Fast forward to the 16th century, and the innovative mind of Leonardo da Vinci envisions an underwater craft reminiscent of a mechanical fish in 1515. But as we discussed earlier, despite his foresight, Da Vinci guarded his sketches as a closely held secret due to concerns about potential military misuse. In 1578, William Bourne pioneered the first design for a submersible craft. By 1620, Cornelius Drebbel successfully constructed and tested the first submarine in the Thames River, completing a 3-hour underwater journey. Jumping to the 1770s, amidst the American War of Independence, the creation of the Turtle marked the inception of American submarines. Crafted by the American inventor David Bushnell, the Turtle was an egg-shaped or acorn-shaped, hand-powered contraption tailored for a single occupant. It stood as the inaugural submarine with the capability for independent underwater movement. However, its practical success was constrained. In 1834, Russian Army General Karl Androvich Schilder showcased the first rocket-equipped submarine to Emperor Nicholas I. Several decades later, during the American Civil War, both the Union and Confederacy deployed submarines, such as the Alligator and the Hunley, respectively. The Hunley achieved historical significance as the first submarine to successfully attack and sink an enemy warship. During the late 1800s, a pivotal engine invention in Germany, leveraging pressure, air, and fossil fuels, brought about transformative changes across diverse industries. In the early 1900s, the Germans ingeniously incorporated these engines into submarines, enabling battery charging while the vessels were surfaced. Despite this advancement, a notable constraint surfaced as these engines required air, imposing a limitation on the duration submarines could stay submerged. Entering the early 1900s, submarines emerged as a crucial naval technology, witnessing advancements in sonar, radar, radios, and encryption. The First World War saw the deployment of German U-boats, engaging in unrestricted submarine warfare, targeting civilian ships without warning. Post-World War I, submarines continued to progress, benefiting from improved battery technology and enhanced capabilities. In the midst of World War II, German U-boats in particular played a pivotal role in naval operations. Following Germany's defeat in 1945, victorious nations like the US, the UK, and the USSR inherited these German U-boats. The 1950s marked a significant shift with the recognition of nuclear energy's potential for submarines, paving the way for the development of nuclear-powered submarines. Hyman Rickover, a Russian-born American Navy officer, advocated for the integration of nuclear reactors in submarines, envisioning a future where surfacing for air replenishment would be unnecessary. In the 1970s and 1980s, amid the Cold War, submarines, notably the Ohio class, underwent a transformative evolution, becoming larger and more sophisticated vessels equipped to carry multiple nuclear warheads. This era marked a strategic shift towards fostering a silent service ethos, prioritizing stealth. Innovations such as rubber coatings, sound-deadening materials, and advanced propulsion systems played a pivotal role. Concurrently, a deterrence strategy unfolded between the United States and the Soviet Union, each possessing submarines capable of launching nuclear weapons. The fear of mutually assured destruction acted as a deterrent against direct conflicts between major powers, as the covert nature of submarines substantially increased the probability of retaliation, thereby contributing to global stability. In subsequent decades, the progress of this remarkable marine technology has quickened, prompting a crucial question: where do we stand today with submarines? This contemporary era of naval warfare proves to be highly defining, especially considering Israel's maritime prowess. Their fleet, comprising 5 Dolphin 1 and 2 class submarines, is rumored to carry nuclear-armed missiles. The recent addition to this arsenal, the INS Draken, launched in Germany, introduces a new dimension with larger missiles, indicating substantial growth in Israeli submarine capabilities and a demonstration of independent naval innovation. Beyond its stealth, this 650 million euro submarine stands out for its size, surpassing all previous Israeli submarines with a length of 225 feet compared to the initial Dolphin-class submarines at 188 feet. Remarkably, its sizable sail likely houses a defining feature: advanced new missiles. While distinct from other global navies like the US and China in lacking nuclear propulsion, the INS Draken, akin to its Dolphin II predecessors, boasts an air-independent propulsion system, allowing for prolonged submersion compared to non-nuclear-powered submarines. However, the submarine's most intriguing feature is its incorporation of a vertical launch system with missile silos positioned in the sail. This configuration implies that the missiles are housed vertically within the expansive sail, launching directly upward with the assistance of a rocket booster motor that propels them away from the submarine. Once the cruise missile attains subsonic speed, maneuvering fins emerge and the onboard turbine engine assumes control of propulsion. This method aligns with a common technique employed in submarine-launched cruise missiles, observed in examples such as the NATO Tomahawk land attack cruise missile and Russia's Caliber. Preliminary estimates suggest that the elongated hull and sail contribute additional space, measuring approximately 2 meters in width, 4 meters in length, and up to 11 meters in depth. This space could potentially house 2 large missile silos, or more likely between 4 to 8 smaller ones, with the reasonable assumption that they may be configured for nuclear capabilities. Nevertheless, there are alternative interpretations for the submarine's expansive sail. It could be associated with specialized equipment for special forces, or it might serve as a hangar for autonomous underwater vehicles, unmanned air vehicles, loitering munitions, or even a rescue submersible. However, none of these explanations hold the same level of conviction as the missile hypotheses. The precise nature of these new missiles remains a matter of speculation. By implication, they may be ballistic missiles, potentially featuring a guided final stage. The mysterious design of INS Drakon. But despite its status as a marvel in naval engineering, the INS Drakon raises questions with its enigmatic design choices. The straightforward reason behind this mystery lies in the scarcity of information. Detailed information about this new submarine class is not readily accessible, leaving experts to rely more on speculations than official statements. While many of these speculations hold merit, a couple of particular mysterious design choices stand out. One of them is placing the missile tubes beneath the sail in the hull. This configuration allows for the accommodation of notably longer missiles than if they were positioned under the deck casing. Although the sail adds extra meters to the potential length of the missiles, careful considerations of weight and stability are imperative. Interestingly, even with the introduction of these new missiles in the sail, the submarine retains 4 unchanged torpedo tubes in the bow, reminiscent of the design seen in the previous Dolphin-class submarines. Furthermore, the additional tubes on the Drakon submarine surpass the standard torpedo tubes in size, deviating from the usual limitations that traditionally constrained the dimensions of cruise missiles. Typically, if a cruise missile exceeds the width of a torpedo tube, designers opt for alternative launch methods, such as storing them in top-mounted launch tubes, a practice observed in the US, Russia, French, and the UK navies for ballistic missiles. Despite the Drakon's tubes being capable of accommodating large cruise missiles due to their size, the submarine's smaller stature compared to US Navy submarines presents a challenge in fitting substantial cruise missiles within its compact hull, which is why they might consider adding a hump behind the sail like Ohio-class submarines. But such a modification would require an extensive and time-consuming redesign process. However, amidst the design mysteries, the highlight remains the potential capacity of this submarine to carry nuclear-armed missiles, apparently bolstering Israel's nuclear deterrent. The coexistence of torpedo tubes for nuclear-armed cruise missiles and vertical launch tubes raises questions about whether these new missiles serve as mere replacements for existing ones. One plausible explanation is that these weapons might not be ready until after the submarine enters service. By utilizing the Drakon for testing new missiles and retaining the torpedo tubes, ongoing nuclear deterrence could be maintained during the transition. Another scenario envisions one set of missiles as conventionally armed and the other as nuclear armed, facilitating both land attack missions and concurrent nuclear deterrence. A simpler interpretation could be that the vertical launch tubes were added late in the design, potentially after construction commenced, and the decision to keep additional torpedo tubes was deemed a more cost-effective choice. As of now, we can only say that deciphering the submarine's full capabilities may demand significant time, possibly years given the Israelis' Navy tendency to keep submarine details confidential, which is not unusual as this practice aligns with Israel's historical reluctance to officially disclose information about its nuclear arsenal. Israel and nuclear arsenal. While widely believed to possess nuclear weapons, Israel's estimated stockpile ranges from 80 to 400 nuclear warheads, delivered through various means such as aircraft, submarine-launched cruise missiles, and the Jericho series of ballistic missiles. The country is believed to have achieved its first deliverable nuclear weapon in late 1966 or early 1967, making it the 6th nation globally to develop such capabilities at the time. However, Israel adheres to a policy of deliberate ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying the possession of nuclear weapons. Instead, it consistently states that it will not be the first to introduce nuclear weapons to the Middle East. Furthermore, Israel has also opted not to sign the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, citing concerns about its national security interests despite international pressures. Potential ramifications of Israel's alleged nuclear-capable submarine. Presently, both the U.S. State Department and the Navy maintain the same policy of ambiguity concerning Israel's nuclear program. However, if the speculations about Israel deploying a new submarine capable of carrying nuclear warheads proves true, it has the potential to heighten regional concerns. Such a development may disrupt the balance of power, causing neighboring countries to reassess their security strategies and possibly instigating an arms race. Given the recent Israel-Palestine crisis and Iran's vocal support for the Palestinian cause, the situation could turn perilous, escalating tensions in the region and perpetuating the arms race. While Israel may assert the submarine's role as a deterrent, the actual consequences might be the opposite. Despite the absence of official statements from the U.S. Navy, such a strategic move is unlikely to escape international notice for an extended period. In response, the United States Navy is likely to closely monitor the situation, assess the regional impact, and engage in diplomatic efforts to address concerns and maintain stability. Background: History of U.S. concerns on Israel's nuclear program. This stems from the fact that the United States, despite being a long-standing ally of Israel, has consistently expressed apprehensions about nuclear proliferation in the Middle East, particularly regarding Israel's nuclear program. The U.S. first became aware of Israel's Dimona reactor during its construction when American U-2 spy planes flew over the site, sparking a diplomatic clash. In 1963, a behind-the-scenes power struggle unfolded between President John F. Kennedy and Israeli Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion and Levi Eshkol regarding Israel's nuclear ambitions. This tension led to a series of American inspections of the Dimona nuclear complex between 1964 and 1969, although they were not conducted under the strict conditions initially outlined by President Kennedy. In the mid-1980s, the arrest of American intelligence analyst Jonathan Pollard, who spied for Israel, raised further questions about Israel's nuclear activities, intensifying U.S. concerns. Although Israel admitted to its role in the spying and issued a formal apology, the extent of leaked information, including details about its nuclear program, remain a matter of significant concern. What potential consequences do you foresee arising from Israel's actions? Could it jeopardize regional security, or might it serve as a deterrent to prevent larger conflicts? Share your insightful thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, do consider subscribing to our channel for more engaging videos on topics like this.